I'm on my way to get diesel this morning, but here's this old Dodge pickup truck. Does that not look like the Twister thing? If that was a red truck right there, we would have a nader coming.
Woo! There we are. Hey, welcome back to the Southern IA.
It is, make sure it's Wednesday. It's actually Wednesday, October 9th. We finished up last night. Andrew and I got 2 loads of grain into town. Then we got the combine back over here to my shop, grain cart back over here to my shop. That way we can do the whole fuel barreling thing. Yet to actually hook up the wind blower to the tractor because the tractor's not here. If I had a tractor here, we'd do it. I'll try and have that done by the end of the season. We will try it. We're gonna try it at some point in time. But today's goal, we are headed to Numa and then to Jerome if everything goes as planned. Basically, I have 20 acres of beans left that we'll either have to get the gleaner out or see if we can get them custom done. But other than that, these are the last 2 joint farms of beans, and then Dad's got beans of his own left. But that pretty much is getting close to on beans here. So I don't know if we're quite at 50% on harvest yet or not. But
30% on corn yesterday.
so we were 30. Dad's gotten 30% on corn. I know you guys are probably like, well, we haven't even barely seen the new auger cart. Unless I've yet to. I started editing the first harvest video last night and then basically fell asleep at the computer. Have you done any footage of the new grain cart yet?
Not much. I'll try to get some. You're back to the cornfield for another load. You can tell by the way it is that it's cornfield. But yeah, it's just me and Scott today, so Scott's been filling the cart while I'm gone, so I get to fill myself up. But that means I get to run this. Oh yeah, she's in her working clothes now. Hey buddy, I like that. Also like these. Yeah, there's more maintenance, more expense to a track, but it does wonders out here in the field. Minimal impact. Of course, it's dry this year, but even still, minimal impact. Hope you can flip that. That was the best mount I could find. Light bracket, it's metal. It's fiberglass up there. Not like the old 1066. That old thing was metal. Anyway, pretty excited to have this cart back. Well, not this cart back. I never had this one before, but excited to have a cart like this for the harvest season. She's mighty fine. Also, if you're wondering about my load size, I didn't fill it up as full as I could have, but we are allowed to haul 90,000 right now. And I'm getting close to that. With this old Volvo, we don't need to be going over 90. That's a workout to get up and down the hills as is. So anyway, down the road, up the road, then down, around the curve. You get the idea. My first day putting things in the bin this year. Everything else has been going to town. So that's it. I mean, putting it up the auger, dumping it in that there bin, one truckload at a time, all in corn. Pretty good corn, pretty dry corn.
Yeah, he's 30% done on that, and I'd say that we're not at 50%. Well, we might be getting close here by the end of the week, but I'll probably end up taking Friday to, I gotta get some stuff done at the patch, basically. Get ready to go for this weekend. And the patch needs, the patch needs mowed. I've got to build a stool for our hay rack ride, which went over really well this last weekend. Last weekend we picked, I'd have to confirm it, but I believe like the Saturday, I think we harvested somewhere in the neighborhood of like 1,800 pounds of pumpkins, but it was windy and hot on the last Saturday. But then I think we were like close to 2,500 pounds of pumpkins on Sunday. So we picked a lot of pumpkins this weekend. So we got a new employee. So Jake's getting the windows done on the 9660. Andrew, we just got diesel fuel in it. I'm really worried that the fuel gauge is not working on this combine, because it still said I was full. And it took a whole lot of diesel fuel for full.
That means you keep track of how many days you just fill her up every other day.
I think I'm out of diesel fuel in my barrel. Oh my gosh. This is like the occasional hay tractor fuel barrel and my like lawnmower fuel barrel. It is not supposed to be a combine fuel barrel, because it don't last very long being a combine fuel barrel. Well, how much diesel fuel you got in that Lucky truck?
Fuel, if we put 100 gallons in it, didn't quite fill it up.
Well, the quad track's a 350 gallon tank. Yeah, which is kind of, you like the joke, like when I filled this barrel here before we started harvest or whatever, and I don't think that's 500 gallons. I think that's like a 400 gallon, 350, 400 gallon tank or something like that. And it was like, I had put more, and the quad track was across the road. Which Dave, who we get the diesel fuel from, it's like every now and then I say, hey, and fill up the quad track wherever it's parked, because yeah, 350 gallons.
Sometimes we pull out of the quad track when we need fuel.
Yeah, you know, that's a good idea. It's like, hey, there's a harvest idea. Just instead, replace the fuel cap on your Steigers with a fuel pump, and then in case something's getting low, you got a mobile 350 gallon tank. Now we're thinking. So as soon as Jake's done doing that, we're gonna be ready to boogie woogie. So
grain cart, combine and head.
oh. So we're back in the move dance here. Andrew and Jake just got the peat here, which I've been dumping onto the grain cart. So then that'll get full. He's gonna go get the other truck, which hopefully by the time he gets back, that truck will be ready to be filled in between the grain cart and the Peterbilt, or what I've put on there. And then he can take off with that, and by the time he gets back, the other truck will be full. It'll most likely sit, and then that will get refilled. And then we'll probably end up moving at that point in time. So by the time you get done moving, you move. So as we near harvest's end here, it's a good time to look back at the growing season for the soybeans. This year we talked about and have taken you guys along with us on the partnership with Syngenta to look at Saltro and CruiserMax APX. So early on in the spring, we looked at the video on the early emergence of these soybeans. If you remember, a lot of our soybeans, the majority of our soybeans were planted really darn early. And with that, we then turned around and got a cool wet spell. When we looked at them earlier this spring, we were extremely happy, or I was extremely happy with the stand on the soybeans. With that, I was also really happy that I had the protection that CruiserMax and Saltro gave to these soybeans with the conditions that they were in. The Saltro gives me sudden death syndrome and soybean cyst nematode protection, which I thought we were setting ourselves up for an extremely good sudden death syndrome year. Didn't turn out to be a really high pressure sudden death syndrome year. We're lucky, but we were protected. And then on top of that, also treated with CruiserMax APX. That gives me my protection against Phytophthora and Pythium, along with early season insect protection. The stand on the soybeans were great. That early emergence, you know, less stress on those soybeans really did set us up for some good yields. And then as Mother Nature favored us with good rains and decent growing conditions, we did get dry there kind of a little bit later on in the season. Decided to spray our soybeans this year with Miravis Neo. We'll be talking about that a little later on, but got those soybeans sprayed at R3 to protect against some late season soybean diseases. Continued on our little journey this year growing with Syngenta, and we headed off to the Farm Progress Show. At the Farm Progress Show, we got to go into the Syngenta booth and we got to get an in-depth look at what those seed treatments do for us, or have done for us this year. That was a really great conversation there. I highly recommend checking out that video. And then we get the chance to actually harvest our soybeans. After making what I feel is the right decisions all year long, from the early season protection, getting those soybeans up out of the ground, mitigating their stress, protecting them, getting them in the ground early, collecting some rains, protecting them late season on, we were rewarded with some of the best soybean yields that we've had in my farming career. And this year on my on-farm trial, right here, the Saltro and CruiserMax APX outperformed the competition by 3.6 bushels. Soybean treatment continues to show great returns for us on the farm. Be continuing to do it further into the future. All the information that you might be interested in, again, and the videos are linked down in the description for your future maybe research heading into the 2025 growing season, thanks to Syngenta. And let's get back to work. Just walking out here.
Here we are again. Sitting here dumping. Thankfully there's been no lines at the co-op. When I mean no lines, I mean like I pulled on the scale, or pulled on the scale, pulled over the pit, dumping, just like cha-cha bang. Nobody in front of me, nobody behind me. That's why it's fun to haul the grain to the elevator and early in the year. Because later, if we're here with corn, it's not going to be this way. But it is now, so take advantage. Strike while the iron's hot. I gotta get back to some real trucking. Breaker 19. This here's a rubber duck. Come in, Pigpen. It's fun.
We're done here. Andrew's giving me crap. He's like, oh look, first time he did it. I get it on the first time every time, Andrew. I don't know what you're talking about. So we've moved over to Jerome, which I guess we didn't film that. Jake's doing the windows. Yeah, next morning. Look at that. That's a perfect place to hang your headphones. Did you know that? The battery is also out on this deal here. Also, it looks like our weed program, or our spray program, failed in this farm. Yeah, they're weedy. We had to do a little bit of replant here. It's going to be slow going on this one here, unfortunately. I hate having a field that looks like this. It just absolutely bugs the snot out of me. Anyways, we got a little bit of beans onto a cut last night, cut it open, then Andrew and I took the 2 trucks. So we got 2 empty trucks. I think we got about 5 loads of beans to get rid of here today. So that's gonna be, see if we can't get that done. Jake's cleaning windows. We gotta put oil into the head there. I spilt my coffee because I put it on that, and then I lifted it up because Jake apparently can't reach when the window that's 15 feet in the air. And no, and so now I don't have any coffee either. See, the dogs are cleaning it up. So I called somebody to ask about what do they know, or do they know ceramic coaters are or something like that. Saying about like getting the quad track done, polished up. No, but he said you should call Myers Sign and just ask them to wrap it and come up with a cool design for it. Electric. And I was like, what would you think of something like that? Would that be just stupid, or do you think that'd look cool?
I think it would. I think it'd look cool for next brand. It'd be very recognizable, one of a kind.
We're about halfway up the glass. Good.
You want to hand me that lid that's on the tire? I guess you can do it. We're fine down there when it's on the ground.
Looks like Jake left me a little bit of paper towel. That's good to know that that's there. That, you know, in case of like field emergencies later today or something along those lines. I've got resources. 2020, that'd probably make me a rich man.
Broken nail. Heavens to Betsy. The dangers of YouTubing. That didn't feel good. Anyway, Jake is loading us. Up there. Jake is loading us. I'm getting a load of beans. Gonna head to town. Up the road, so to speak. That's what I've been doing all week. Kind of not exciting after the first time, but Ben said he's running out of things to talk about after 10 days of cutting beans straight. So yeah, me too. We're getting close on looking this field. It's a little bit back there. There's more over there, but it's going good.
See my little hole that's started on us? Just waiting for it to actually bust through and just douse the 8110 in beans. Maybe I'll catch it on camera. Whoop. About caught that on camera. I just caught a stick. This is the farm that we did that whole tiling job on last fall. Cleanup job. And then I guess there's another video this spring. Pretty good series, I'll link it. But there's still sticks poking themselves up. Jake's taking quite a few of them to the ditch. So here's one that found its way in. I tried to get the head shut off in time. I don't think I did. I heard it hit into the throat, but I don't know how far it made it in the throat. It slowed down enough. Got a hole in that poly, needs replaced. That guy made it in, he's about polished. That's why you keep the rock traps clean. Got another one?
I picked up a few.
Yeah.
We got a rock.
That's one we got stopped. Fence cleaning, that's what happens.
That's a wrap on this one, this field. I think the plan is to take the head off, move some equipment, and we'll see about getting those last 2 loads of beans in. Can be partials, but they wouldn't all fit on one truck, so. Hey, we're glad we got the extra beans, I guess. Note to the editor, you can probably like make that look good. I just always wanted to say note to the editor.
Well, we made it to the elevator. There was an accident on the road, so we barely made it to the elevator. So, unload these 2 loads. I'm at the patch all day on Friday. Got things I gotta take care of there. Getting ready for the Haunted Maze, which is coming up. So, thanks for hanging out with us. See ya starting next week. Either corn or beans, one of the 2. Adios.
Just kidding, I buried you. I thought it might be a cool shot.